morning everyone, it's day 3 of Jingle My Christmas. It's already noon, but today we had a very early start of the day. We woke up at like 8 AM or something because some of our blinds were finally installed. Happy days! So let me show you. We got installed the one here in the bedroom, just a regular Roman blind. There she goes. You get the gist of it. So all we're missing now in the bedroom is the wardrobes, and that's going to be in the beginning of January. We also got installed the blind on Josh's study, and we got installed one in the kitchen, which I'm going to show you now. We still want to put some big curtains in here. We need a new curtain pole because ours got thrown away during the move, but we got installed these ones. They are the same style as the one in Josh's bedroom, just a different color. These ones are like dark gray wood. Doesn't really focus on it because of the light behind it. While we're in the kitchen, I also want to show you yesterday dessert that I baked. Well, it technically didn't bake. That I cooked at the end of yesterday's vlog. I'm gonna leave the link here in the cards for you to go check out the recipe if you haven't already. But it's this pretzels and crisps, fudge technically, but it's not really fudge. Maybe it is, I don't know. But I cut it, I put it in a plate, and it's been chilling in the fridge. And guys, it's amazing. Both me and Josh really enjoy it. And so if you're gonna take anything from these vlogs, take this recipe and try it at home. Here's how it looks. I keep it in the fridge just because I like it more on the firm side, but you can totally keep it at room temperature and it will just be more soft. But let me show you how it looks. It's delicious. It's not very sweet, surprisingly. It's so good. That recipe, totally worth it. I think I'm gonna be making it very often. Not very often, but every now and then. Or especially if we have guests or something, or if we're going somewhere. It's also a super quick, easy thing to do. Just toss it all together, cut it in squares, throw it in a box and take it with you. And everyone will be amazed at your baking skills, I'm telling you. Now, on other news. Yesterday I mentioned, you can probably see my curtain here. It's the best we're gonna get, just ignore that. Yesterday I mentioned I was gonna start red, white and royal blue, and I do intend on starting that, but I didn't have the audiobook with me when I was laying in bed, and lately when I'm laying in bed, that's when I do the thumbnail for the vlog of that day. So I like to listen to an audiobook while I'm doing the thumbnail, so this way I don't waste any time. Because I didn't have the audiobook, I decided to start another one just because I didn't want to waste my time by doing the thumbnail without doing anything else. Better, less curtain. And so I went on Audible and I looked for a short audiobook so I could start and finish quickly. And this was the one I chose. It's still Christmas related. I just typed Christmas on the search thing of Audible. And this one showed up and it had like 4 hours something. And I only have 37 minutes left of it. It's a non-fiction and it's about hospitals. And in this specific book, this is the second book of the same author. I never read the first one. But in this one, he's telling us stories of things that happen during the last few Christmas that he worked at the emergency room in the hospital, and things that people do and things that people say. And I do love that because working with people myself and customer service and things, one thing that I can tell you and promise is that people are stupid and people do stupid things. And as much annoying as it is for you when you have to deal with it, it also makes an excellent story for your friends. And I always love to know the backgrounds of every job. I just love to know how things work. And this goes a little bit into that. So I'm enjoying it. It's not fascinating or anything, but it has had some specific stories that it's just ridiculous, right? And the stories are all very short. He goes from one story to the other very quickly, which is also good and keeps the book being fast-paced. Now, considering that I only have 37 minutes left, what I'm gonna do now is listen to the last 37 minutes so I can finish this, and then I need to finish editing and leave to export my Sunday video for my Thai life tomorrow, the Christmas wrap with me that I mentioned yesterday. Besides that, I don't know really, I'm gonna try and tackle some more of the challenges, because the way I see it is the more challenges that I do, now in the first few days, while I still have the energy and the will to edit and everything, the better it will be for the last few days of this challenge, because by then I'll be tired of vlogging, I'll be tired of editing, and I just want the things on those last few vlogs to be boom, 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 boom. Fast to record, fast to edit, and then we go. Story time! When I was a kid, I used to write letters to Santa every year. And I used to do that in a very specific way. I don't know if other kids did that as well, but I remember doing this every single year. And that would be that my parents would collect for me all those little magazines that we would get in the mail of like Toys R Us and even the supermarket ones. Sometimes they would, in December, have this special edition that was just the toys and the games for kids. So me and my parents would accumulate them for a while whenever they came in the post. And then one day I would sit down with all those magazines and I would cut out all the little things that I wanted, and it was always so much. I had no self-control back then, and even now the same thing, right? I would cut out the pictures of every single thing that I wanted, and then I would get a piece of paper and I would write like Dear Santa, and then just stick everything there, like no specific order, just whatever it fitted I would stick there, and then I would fold the paper and I would give it to my parents. I don't even remember ever putting it in an envelope, I would just give it to my parents. That's the way I've always remembered of writing a letter to Santa. So that's my memory sharing with you guys. And I thought it would be fun to do the same thing, to recreate the same thing again for the challenge of writing a letter to Santa. However, I don't have those magazines where the toys are. I don't know if they do them here in the UK. I've never received them in the post, but I don't know, maybe the shops have them in store and you can pick them up. I have no idea. So instead what I did was I went online and I just literally looked for like gifts for 8-year-old girls, and I tried to impersonate 8-year-old Manganet and think, what would I put on the list? Keeping in mind that I would put so many things on that list, right? So I have 2 pages of some pictures of things that I would choose, and there's the most random crap in here. So let's pretend these were my selections. I'm gonna cut them off, and then I have some white paper here. And I have my trusty glitter markers, because as a kid I never used to write with a normal rollerball pen. I would always write with markers, and usually I think I would actually glue them with one of those sticks of glue that you rotate the bottom and it comes up, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna use good old tape. And that's gonna be my letter to Santa, and I'm gonna show you the random things that I have here and the things that 8-year-old Manganet would have loved. So I wasn't the worst kid at cutting things. I've always been used to doing artwork and things, and I used to love it. And I remember I used to love crafty gifts and like experimental gifts and things that I could do something with. So that you're gonna see a lot of that here. But I was also very artistic, you know. So let's see, we have a bunch of like workshop things. So there's a tattoo one. I don't know what this is, something for dancing, I don't know, a game or something. This is like a science lab. I used to love these things. A thing to paint your pillow cover? Yes, please. Some blocks that you could pile on. Like I said, I used to love these things. This is something for your hair, like to braid your hair. Obviously, a microphone. I love to sing. This is some kind of balloon that you do something with. Some candy science. Like I said, I used to love sciencey things and things to build and artsy things, jewelry. I was very girly. I also loved toys and babies, those babies that you could play with, and Barbies. Here is like a little trolley for the kids. Things to dress up your Barbies, and some game, I also like those. Oh my god, a rainbow dress. Pink walkie-talkies, how excellent is that? And look at this. So as you see, it's a bunch of like junk. This is the kind of things I would ask for on my letter to Santa, and obviously I would get like not even 1/3 of it probably, but I would still get a lot of it. Like my parents would still get me so many toys, and I remember one year I got like a set to do nail polish for kids, so it was washable, it came out with wash, but it was like this whole station where you could put the colors in the little jars, and there was glitter, and then you close it, and then there was a section where you'd put the little jar in and you press the button and it would shake the jar for you. I remember that. I remember having a Barbie that on her skirt had different lipsticks that you could dip your finger in and wear it yourself. What else? There was so many different types of Barbies that I got, like Barbies that change their hair when they get water in their hairs, and a bunch of toys like dolls and babies and things, and a little kitchen that all kids have at some point, and a bunch of clothes for the toys, and there was just so many gifts when I was a kid. My parents used to get me all the crap, so thank you for that. Now I'm gonna glue this on the paper and let's make our letter to Santa. Another thing that I remember from my childhood in general was that I used to write so many spelling mistakes. Now, obviously, I never really wrote in English, so I don't know what would be the classic mistakes that I would make. So I just wrote this in this very, very silly way of writing English. I also remember I used to fold my letters a bunch of times, and obviously they wouldn't be super straight yet just because I was a kid, but I remember folding them like over and over again. There you go guys, my nostalgic letter to Santa. Hello, it's a bunch of hours later. It's 6:45 p.m. and I'm finally finished editing the Wrap With Me video for tomorrow. It took way longer than I was expected, and one of the reasons for that was not the editing itself, was because while I was editing, shit hit the fan, people. So let me put the camera down so we can have a proper chat together. In case you didn't know, the UK regarding the COVID situation was divided in 3 tiers. We had tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, where tier 3 was the most serious one with more restrictions, and that tier 3 included some places like London and also the area where we live. Now what happened today was that they have introduced a whole new tier. They just introduced tier 4. It goes live at midnight, and tier 4 includes London and a bunch of other places, including the area where Josh's parents live, where we used to live as well. And one of the new rules for tier 4 is that there cannot be absolutely no household mixing, not even for Christmas. So they had made some different regulations for Christmas to allow people to spend Christmas with their families, and now they took it all back and they made it even more strict. So what basically happens is that a bunch of people that I know are gonna be spending Christmas all by themselves. They cannot go to their family or their friends. And also, not as bad, I don't want to compare my situation to others because I don't have it that bad, but also me and Josh were gonna spend Christmas Day at his parents' house, given that I cannot go to Portugal to spend it with my family for the first time ever, but we were still gonna drive down and spend the day with them, have Christmas dinner there, open the gifts with there. We're gonna take all the gifts that we bought for them and even for us, we're gonna take them with us and open everything there and just, you know, spend the day there, play some games, board games and things that we always do every year. And now we cannot go because we cannot enter the county where they live, because they live in one of the tier 4 areas, and for tier 4 areas not only cannot be any household mixing, but also no one can enter or leave the tier 4 areas. So they cannot leave to come to us and we cannot enter to go to them. So it sucks, you know, 2020, it sucks. I'm done with this year. I always try to stay positive and think that it's not that bad. I mean, I bought a house in 2020, right? How bad can it be? But what pains me the most is not even my situation, because I'm fine. I'm healthy as long as I know. Josh is healthy as long as we know. And we're together. We've had no problems. We have had a great year as a couple in the way that we've spent a bunch of time together, and our relationship is perfectly fine and we're happy together. We enjoy spending time together, and still he has his own time, I have my own time. We bought a house together. Suki's fine, Suki's gorgeous, and Suki's also the cutest dog you've ever seen. Also, on top of that, I do miss my dream job as a flight attendant, but I'm also enjoying just being a housewife for a chance and just having all the time in the world to do all the things I want, to daily vlog for you, to do all the videos I've been publishing, creating a new channel. All that takes time, and one of the reasons I'm able to do those things, it's because I'm not working, and it's great, and I love not working. I wish I was rich so I never had to work, or at least just work whenever I wanted. So yes, I do miss my job, but ultimately I'm enjoying being at home. What I mean, 2020 hasn't been that bad for me or Josh, but it pains me seeing what it's doing to the people around us and not being able to see the people, the family, the friends. I miss everyone. I miss being able to jump on a train and going whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and just, you know, having people over for a weekend or even for dinner. I miss people, and I feel bad for everyone who's going through this alone and they don't have someone in the house. Like I have Josh and Josh has me. I feel bad for people who are not fortunate enough to have that, and like the medical staff obviously who's doing everything they can, and it's still not enough. Like nothing is enough, and 2020 sucks. And I wish it would be over soon, and I thought it would be at some point, like the new vaccine got introduced and they have started using it here in the UK. But also, in case you don't know, a new variation of the virus has been discovered in the UK, and that's one of the reasons why they introduced this new tier 4, because apparently the new variation of the virus is 70% more spreadable than the old variation of the virus. So COVID was already horrible, and now it just got 70% worse. And I wish I could say this was 2020 and it's almost the end of the year and it's gonna be better soon, but is it? Because by the looks of it, it's just gonna get worse, and we're gonna keep having to social distance from the people we love. And what kind of life is that? I'm not saying don't do it, obviously do it and follow all the measures and the rules and everything, because rules, as always, are in place for a greater good. I'm a big fan of rules and following rules, so do whatever you need to do in your country. But ultimately it makes me wonder, what's the point of living if you cannot share that life with the people you love? I think that's what pains me the most, is being distant from everyone, family, friends, just not being able to have your people around you. It sucks. As always, I'm wrapping this vlog in the kitchen. I'm just quickly gonna show you what I made for dinner. We're having tacos, so I have my meat there in the pan, that's shredded chicken, beans, tomato sauce, Mexican spice. I have lettuce all shredded here, sour cream with lime juice, salt and pepper, and there is some cheese in the bag, and I have taco shells there. And now I'm just gonna put everything together, pile everything inside the taco shell, wrap it up, and that is it. It's a 5-minute toss together dinner. It's so easy to make, and it's ideal for days like this when the world turns its back on you, because in the wise words of Simon from Simon and Pumbaa, when the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.